college coach at least says 24 hours to celebrate and then you move on, but have you felt some of that momentum and excitement carry over into this week's practices?
Well, I mean, time will tell. I'm always challenging the guys having the best Tuesday practice of the year at the next one, because the next game is the biggest game. It doesn't matter who you face; it's the biggest game of the year. The next game. So yeah, we enjoyed it for 25. Some are just sweeter and than others. Some wins, and they still equate to the same. When you really look down, not a win isn't worth 1.5, but to a person it could be 1.5, and so. Some are just better than others, and the way we performed, especially defensively, last week was, I mean, you could classify it as a lot of things, but it was, like I said, it was just a special seat in the house, standing on the sidelines and watching that defense do what they did for basically start to finish. The first drive to the last drive, they stopped them on, the first fourth down to start the game, four downs in, and ended the game on defense with them having 60 plus yards to go to try to tie it up. So it was top 5 that I've been around from a defensive standpoint from start to finish. I've been a part of a few. So it was a little bit more enjoyable than most last Saturday.
How much would it mean to get that road win this week?
We're chasing one. We talked about it in the team meeting today. We're chasing our first one in 2025. We don't know what it's like to win on the road. We know what it's like to play well on the road, but not well enough on the road. So says the scoreboard. We've done some good things. We cost ourselves a chance in Cedar Falls, but at the end of the day, there's not asterisks next to wins and losses, and so we that was a self-inflicted wound, or we would have been staring at 4-3 right now, not 3-4. That's the way it is. That's the truth of the matter. But we aren't. So we can talk about the past. But I'd like to learn from the past. But we're still chasing our first one. We got close at that time, and then the next outing didn't play well at all in Bozeman, not well at all. And we responded the last 3 weeks with one of those weeks being a bye. So our full intent is to carry, I wouldn't say that momentum, but that intensity and that purpose that we've had the last 3 weeks going into to our second Big Sky road game.
What's the biggest area of growth that you've seen from your defense from week 1 to the way that they played last?
Not in any particular order. Tackling has been much more consistent over the last probably 3 to 4 weeks. I thought we played really well in that first game in San Antonio defensively. I felt like there was some of that game in San Antonio felt like all of this game against Idaho. But it wasn't the entire game against Incarnate Word. I thought we played really, really well. Gave up 2 big plays, which are both their touchdowns. I thought we've limited the last couple weeks of explosives because at one point I think they had 15. Someone had 15 in a game against us. Might have been the Boise game. I don't remember. It's all kind of a blur. But when you start limiting teams to less than 5 explosives and tackle well, and then the red zone defense, it all kind of ties hand in hand where you don't have explosive plays, or if they are, they're not scoring. But our red zone defense has been bottom third in the conference the last couple of years to now top of the top third of the conference this year through 7 games. We still got a ton of work to go, but our guys are playing free. They're tackling well. They're understanding the defense. And that was the whole plan. And it took a little bit longer than expected. We're not a finished product of last year versus this year. That was their first year in that defensive scheme. And so now, second year around, a lot of the same faces, but some new faces too. And this just in. Sometimes younger guys are more coachable than older guys. I'll just throw that out there. Myself included. The older you get, the less you want to get coached. And some of those guys are chomping at the bit to play. They've earned opportunities to play. They played well enough to earn more opportunities going forward. So, but it all starts up front. On both sides of the ball, the better you are at D-line, the better you are with the back 7. The better you are offensive line-wise, the more of a chance you have to catch the ball and run the ball. So it doesn't matter how open you are. If you can't get the ball off, you got no shot. Quarterback holds the ball for 8 seconds. That's really, really tough for anybody to cover for that period of that length of time. So I think we were in a really good spot this last week. Our intent was good from bye week on to prepare for Idaho. The challenge is now you get 4 days to prepare for the 5th day on Saturday. So I'm curious to see what kind of focus we have today as we go out to practice.
How does 100th game as head coach feel?
Like I'm old. I mean, we go on and on. I practice in 15 minutes. We'd be here for 15 hours, and we talked about what this place means to me. It really does. It's all authentic and organic. It's given me my beautiful wife and 3 kids, my degree, an opportunity to be a father and a head coach. So whether it's 100 or whether it's 10, I owe this university and this department more than I could ever give it back. And so I do it through our youth, our 18 to 23-year-olds. It's not always fun. It's always with love and with purpose and intent. But I'm not the easiest person to meet this standard. We intend to have high standards. When they're not met, then we got to find out how to meet those. But when you talk about it, I think I'm more. I'm kind of more giddy about the length from 96 to 2025 than I am about 100 games as a head coach, because everybody talks to head coach. No one talked to you when you were, a 296-pound, 38% body fat, center that comes in. That at one point someone told me, "You're the long snapper. You can't even see the punter between your legs," because it just that's the way it rolls. So in 30 years, it's one of those pieces where it's made me who I am, and I appreciate everyone I've come in contact with, all the challenges, all the ups and downs, and I in turn try to challenge our kids to be their best when the best is necessary. So not always easy, but there's always purpose.
When you think back to your introduction as head coach, or even maybe when you were younger and aspiring to one day be a head coach, is 100 wins with that title something that ever crossed your mind as that's it? Did it ever cross your mind? Did you ever think of this milestone?
Really, the answer is undoubtedly no. I didn't want to get into college coaching. That wasn't the plan. I wanted to be a high school teacher and coach, and that was one of my main draws to come here, which is easy for me to talk to, potential future Eagles, where I came here to chase my education degree because this place has a renowned education department. I wanted to influence individuals at the high school level, so I came here to get my degree. Both my mother and father are both teachers, so I think I was born to teach. And I always say it, and it's maybe just a one-off or one of my one-liners. I'm a teacher that wears a whistle, therefore they call me a coach. But this wasn't the plan. It wasn't the plan. But whatever the plan is, wherever I'm going to be, that's how I roll. I'm all in. If I'm not there, I'm not going to be all in. If I am there, I'm all in. So I was told when the offensive line coach in 2000, after the 2001 season, in G version, get your butt over here. You're the O-line coach. And that was never the plan. That was never me taking over for Eric Reed, who was here for 2 years. And I was a graduate assistant, going to be thrust into a coaching role. But you got no significant other. You got no kids. You don't need money. You're living in Cheney. It's where I got my degree. Let me chase a, second degree. And if this works out, it works out. And here we are, fast forward, some 24 years later, and you're here. So it's not something I've chased. It's not something I've intended upon doing. I never had dreams of being a head coach. When you are an assistant, you always think the next thing, do you want to be a play caller? I'm a competitor, a high-level competitor, and I do lose. High-level competitors do lose. So it's always kind of new to me when you ask somebody, hey, do you want to be a head coach? When I was in my early age, where a lot of people said, or some people said no, most people said yes. Now it's just the opposite. Most people, you ask them now, they're like, hell no, I don't want to be a head coach. Because I think there's less coaching when you're a head coach. You're called to coach, but it's what you do about 20% of the time. So that's where I get my fix out of practice or in games, because there's a lot of administrative duties that are non-coaching related with this seat, which a lot of people don't understand. And let's be honest, you don't know what you don't know. So as much as I tried to lean on Coach Baldo to give me hints, there's a lot of conversations where I called him after, he didn't tell me that. He goes, it's good for you to learn on your own. So I've had some great mentors with Coach Wolf and Coach Baldwin, but you don't know what you don't know. But this ended up being the journey, but I wasn't planning on this journey. So at some point, someone put a blinker on for me, and we took a turn. But hopefully, we all feel like it was a correct turn, and we kept plugging away.
As far as the scout for the Wildcats this week, from your perspective, just a couple points to hit on that you think will be the biggest piece of success?
Well, I think takeaways, and I think special teams are probably the two biggest swings that could take place. They took 5 away from Portland State last week, so I'm talking about takeaways for us and not giving the ball away. from us. And I think special teams, the core four, field goal block, especially it seems to be a common theme every week when I'm talking about what kind of could put us over the end because, we're going to slip in spots on O&D. We are. So how do we pick each other up? Well, that's possessing the ball and playing really well and fundamentally sound on special teams. And so I think that's who we are. We're not going to probably score 40 or 45 points a game. We have 10, 12, 15 years ago, grew accustomed to it, but that's not how this team is built. We're built from up front on defense. We're built to run the ball on offense and RPO on offense and be sound special teams wise. So just because it's not beautiful doesn't mean it's not effective. And so we stress that quite a bit because it doesn't have to be the prettiest to be the most effective. And so I think those are the two things that probably separate us from being on the correct side of things as opposed to being on the incorrect side of things. But we got a few practices before then to truly put our focus on a Weber State team that's hungry to play their third game at home. They haven't played at home very much, so they're looking forward to hosting us, and we're chasing our first Big Sky victory on the road.
When you hear a player like Noah talk about all his family coming out and all that, it seems like it's always like a homecoming for somebody. But when you're coming off like a rivalry and something that you can kind of rally everybody up for, what is it like to hear that for this kid that 50 plus people like?
I tend to agree. You need, I wouldn't say something to play for, but when you have such a tremendous emotional input into a game or into a week or into a rivalry to obtain something, and then all of a sudden the sun goes down, then the sun comes up, and then what is next? And so I think our guys speak freely about the fact that they play with each other. It's very organic. It's not authentic. It's not a forced culture. It's a player-led culture. And I think some of those things are nice. I like the fact when we're on the road and people are playing in front of their family and friends because usually they have a little bit more to play for. Not home. It's not a home game, but there are some there is some specialness for especially as many as Noah has in attendance where you get to meet some people you've never met. You get to talk to people that raised the kid that you're raising in an Eagle uniform. There's a lot of good to that. There's downtime at the hotel for them to be able to hang out because they don't get a ton of time in the fall segment to really see their friends and family and folks face to face. So I think there's a lot of benefit to that, and hopefully that ramps his game up. I'm always in for inviting more people if our game's going to be a little bit better because you got more to play for.
As far as the quarterback situation coming off of this last week in Bell's performance, do you feel like you guys are settling into the formula that's going to work? Or
Yes.
let me not say going to work. Be the plan A moving
Yeah,
forward?
it is. And it's been the plan A for the last about week and a half. All parties have come together. Jared's always going to be a possibility when in need. But right now, our starting quarterback's Nate Bell and our backup quarterback's Jake Skockel. We've moved Jared Taylor to running back, amongst other positions on special teams. So that's where he's going to settle in his role. We challenged him to attack his role, and that was an easy ask of him because that's who he is. He just wants to win. But we all understand that Nate is quarterback one, and if that's the case, then how do we get one of our best players involved in the game, not just from an offensive perspective, but a team perspective? And his leadership skills are as good as any. He understands people more than most. And so we all put our fist in about a week and a half ago and said, this is where we're going to go. And we all broke and said, Eags on three, 1, 2, 3 Eags. And we left with an understanding of where we're going to go. So it's not a back and forth measure. This is where we are. This is where we intend to go. And so the bye week was kind of the biggest week as to what are we going to do? I know what we've done. What are we going to do? What's best for this team? And we all agree this is best for this team. And that's hard for any senior quarterback captain to be in that position. It's hard for anybody, but especially a guy in his last go round. But he's going to be a factor as we head into our last stretch here.
Coach, just a question about Trevor Thurman. Just what is he sort of seeing him develop at? He's one of the veteran guys, been here for 5 years, I think.
Yeah, it seems like 10, but yeah. I got story after story, but he's a guy that I believed in. Let's just put it this way, from day one. He's become one of the best Big Sky special teams players in this conference. You saw from a while ago. Started at linebacker, journey started at linebacker. We again trying to make our team better. How do we make this team better, and that allows him more success. So we are better. We moved him to level 1 a couple years ago, and he's flourished in that role, and it's taking a load off his shoulders. He's damn near a 4.0 kid. I think he's got 1 A- in his career, and I told him that's okay. It's okay to be imperfect, and I really meant that. But he leads us in a lot of ways. He's not the loudest person in the room. That's who he is. But I have a big crush on Trevor Thurman from the start of his journey till where he is now, because he's battled. He's a battler. He's battle tested, and he's going to be a better father and spouse because of it. Thank you.